Customers all over the world have come to know and love the S-Class for its high levels of luxury, performance, safety and technology. But the question is, does the new Mercedes-Benz live up to its accolade of being the best car in the world, particularly in light of offerings from Audi, Lexus, Jaguar and BMW? Anyone who doesn't recognize a Mercedes-Benz straight away must have been living under a very large rock. But fortunately, the new generation S-Class continues the Mercedes-Benz design. But this is more about what's on the inside than what's on the outside.
Now, as Vui said earlier, the best car in the world is one hell of a reputation that Mercedes-Benz has to live up to. But the engineering team have said, listen, there are three pillars that we're going to focus on. And that, of course, is the essence of luxury. There is the efficient technologies and, very importantly, intelligent drive. And I think if they get those three elements together, they're probably going to hang on to their title. Good place to start, I suppose, efficient technologies. For the first time ever, the S-Class has all, what should we call them, mainstream power plants covered. They've got diesel, they've got petrol, and of course they've got hybrids. And the one we're driving in is the S400 hybrid. Very important, every single one of the engines is Euro 6 emission standard compliant. And as we've come to expect from Mercedes-Benz, their engines just start producing more and more power, but yet they maintain better fuel efficiencies and make the cars a lot more frugal to drive. They're looking at up to 20% improvement in the new S-Class. What's cool as well, they also offer long wheelbase in the S400 hybrid and the S500. We're in the long wheelbase, and that gives you that little bit of extra length in all the important places. Hey, Vui. The life of a chauffeur. I'm just talking to myself. Even more impressive, whether you believe it or not, is the 6.4 litre claimed combined fuel rates that they're saying they get. Maybe if you were driving on the moon, it might be possible. But I suppose that's the big debate around the hybrid technology. Unless you're really living in a proper congested city like London, maybe even Joburg on the N1 from time to time, where you're using that hybrid mode, will you get to that? It might be better just going with the diesel. But let's talk about the drive, because it obviously comes with adaptive chassis, and I've found the drive really, really special. Obviously, NVH levels are super low, and they continue improving on those. But behind the wheel with that air suspension, the adaptive chassis, it is unbelievable. You literally, I don't want to say waft, because waft sounds like you're all over the road. You glide. It is precise. The steering feel is really good. But on our interesting road conditions, it really does absorb every single bump along the way. For me though, waste of money, 60,000 Rand extra on this vehicle is the Amg Sport Pack, and that gives it the 20-inch fatter tackies, and that kind of detracts from what you actually want in the S-Class, is that smoothness of ride. But even with those, it's still very good. Obviously I can go and put into sport mode, and then it doesn't become a beast, but it does release a lovely soundtrack, and the car obviously does firm up quite a bit, become quite enjoyable to drive. Some other interesting things, not one globe on this entire car. First car that is running with full LEDs, 500 LEDs in fact, that are lighting up the road ahead, the car around, inside the boot. It's actually pretty special. So that's some unique technology that they always bring. Talking about the body shell, it's an aluminium hybrid body shell that they're using. They've now got up to 50% aluminium. And what is special about that? Well, this car hasn't really changed its weight in 20 years. And if you think about all the safety features and comfort features that have been added over the years, I think that's a hell of an achievement that they can still keep this car at the weight that they have.
There are many firsts in the new generation Mercedes-Benz S-Class. And one of the most intriguing ones for me was the perfuming system, which is part of the air balance package. Basically what that means is you can get the car to smell the way you want it to smell. It's individualized. So Marius can basically do his hot, sweaty stuff, and I'll just do Chanel. The other feature that I enjoyed is the reclining rear seats. up to 43.5 degrees, which for me could be pretty much like sleeping. And well, that's not going to be a bad thing to do, particularly in Joburg traffic after a long day's work. What I am envious about though is that Marius gets the hot stern massage. Hey Marius, you enjoying yourself there, boy? The interior could best be described as a business class lounge on wheels. Every contact within the S-Class is an experience, from the high-end finishing to the 24-speaker surround system. I could just change my profession and become a DJ.
Time now to talk intelligent drive. Now, the S-Class has always been a pioneer. It's always brought the latest and the very best of technology, not only to Mercedes-Benz, but to the motoring world as a whole. The stereo camera and multi-stage radar are critical to this technology that the S-Class brings to the market, but also a very important part of the intelligent drive system. For the first time, 360-degree vision. Now it might sound like, wow, what's the big deal? But I promise you, it is really, really handy when you're trying to park and maneuver what is a very, very big car around the city where it's going to be spending most of its time. Accessing the infotainment system, super easy with a little rotary button. And then if you're used to Mac, it's got these fast buttons or direct buttons that you push, and it takes you to the features that you use the most. So even for me as a driver, there is so much tech in here. If I want to adjust the seats and the dampening, a quick little spin of the rotary button and I can change the illumination to a whole variety of colors depending on my mood. And obviously I can bolster the seats, I can get a massage. It's incredible tech. That's the S-Class for you. So the 1.2 million rand question then is the Merc S-Class still the best car in the world?
I think the competitors have really closed the gap, and it becomes a matter of whether you want a Mercedes-Benz, a Lexus or a BMW.
Yeah, they certainly have. Everyone's running similar technology.
Called different things.
Got a different name, but I think probably the big trump card for the S-Class that Mercedes-Benz have always done luxury super saloons the best.
That's
so they've
true.
kind of got that three-pointed star thing, has got a lot of punch when it comes to the executive.
There's something classic about being driven in a Mercedes-Benz or driving a Mercedes-Benz, which I think you cannot quite compare with the other brands.
Oh.
Mercedes-Benz is Mercedes-Benz, and that for me is the bottom line.